Okay, we're gonna call this meeting to order at 6:39 PM. It's the Arts and Culture Commission regular meeting. We will begin with roll call.
Yes, Chair Ransom,
Here.
Vice Chair Villa,
Here.
Commissioner McCormick,
Present.
Commissioner Moreno,
Here.
Commissioner Purdue. Is absent. All right,
Okay, we'll move on to secretary's report.
yes, actually, I think I have it in the
Yeah.
notes. Take a look in the Secretary's report. No, I don't know, of course not. So the agenda was posted Friday afternoon on October.
Okay, next is approval of the agenda.
I move to approve the agenda.
Okay, do we have a second?
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next is approval of minutes from the September 10th regular meeting. And that's in your packet. Motion to approve. Okay, do we have a second? I'll second.
You can second. Nice.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Next is public comment items not on the agenda.
We don't have any folks.
Okay. And then we'll move on to old business, 7.1 for the Love of Gilroy debrief.
Yes, for sure. So this is an opportunity to kind of do some closing discussion on the event that was held on September 20th. And also to kind of do a lead-in to see what may want to be changed going forward. To give you some context, we have the start of the next planning phase for next 2-year work plan will start already in January.
Mhm.
So it's coming on again. So it's a good opportunity to talk about what worked well, what didn't work well, and from the commission's perspective, and then we can use that to identify any changes going forward. Some improvements. So it's really kind of open forum
Okay.
for discussion.
Do we want to start with, oh, this is super cool. I thought that was wonderful.
Oh, I do.
Like, I loved it. I
I
loved the
do.
whole thing.
I do.
The weather was great, the locations, the whole thing, walking around, seeing it. I thought it all turned out well. That part of it.
Which one?
Yes. So, I mean, if everyone agrees, are there things we wanna talk about, like what maybe we missed or had some hiccups on
I mean, so
as far as the administrative
Yeah.
side?
we did have a couple.
That would be your
So one, I would suggest we start the planning in the event much earlier.
Okay,
Just because I know we kind of ran around with the mayor's comment period. There's just the timing as far as notifying her, because we had the date, but we didn't know for sure we're gonna have banners and do we need to push the event.
yeah,
And so we kind of ran up a little bit of compression.
so we need a little bit more buffer time for probably producing the banners in case there's, like, we were down to the wire.
The day of, like.
Yeah,
we're not
like
there,
I
but the
went
day-
that morning and picked them up from Salinas because we couldn't even ship them here.
Yeah.
So like stuff like that, I think if we had
Yeah,
an
enough
extra
time.
week,
Yeah, at least.
at
yeah.
least, or
And then-
two,
Yeah, and like, yeah, 2 would be great.
just because in case you have to switch a date, not knowing if it conflicts with something happens, then we have some wiggle room.
Yeah,
Okay,
and then knowing we have that buffer zone, the buffer time, then we can issue out invitations for speakers and events earlier on, because we know if something doesn't happen right, within, we still have some wiggle room as opposed to kind of where we landed, where we're not sure that it's actually going to be able to land on the day. The other one, is regarding solicitation for like the Manos and the photographer and some of those items.
Mhm.
so like
So-
paid performers or paid services.
Yeah, any paid services out
Okay.
there, so. We got permission from the city manager for some of those purchases at the last minute. But usually there's more review that we do.
What is the time frame typically for something like that?
Usually I would ideally a month,
Okay.
because that gives us time to check, make sure, okay, the business license is active and correct.
Okay,
Some
so-
services we do have to bid out. And so it helps to have that opportunity to go out and look for, make sure we're approaching all the different vendors that we can. For small purchases, the bidding is not required, but it's still highly encouraged by facts. So
What's
we want to
the
try.
threshold for that?
Threshold, well, so 3,000 is the mandatory bid. Anything below 3,000 is at the discretion of the staff person that's doing it. But we had, obviously last minute photographers, so again, it comes up, that early planning and being able to say, if we want a photographer, we can go out ahead of time, make sure the business license and that, again, we have a local purchasing preference policy as well, so we have to make sure they're as much as possible.
I think
Go,
especially for this event, because it was for the love of Gilroy and and council was so adamant about it being Gilroy people. I feel like that only would make sense to use Gilroy performers, Gilroy services. Okay.
And then the other thing is like early planning helps, any confusion about, well, what commitments are being made as far as, as far as payments for any kind of paid services. So just kind of getting that all planned ahead of time. We can make sure it's dialed in. So like, for example.
Like that, maybe 2 months ahead is when we should
ideally,
have that
as
kind of
much
go.
As much as possible.
I'm just
So,
trying to make like a timeline for,
um, especially since for issuing payment, we generally have to have your W-9s on file and in our systems. That type of thing. So we don't have that constantly. So there's some procedural things as far as anything.
Mhm.
But, yeah, 2 months is a good one.
Breathing down.
I think that the social media stuff outreach was really good. I thought that the design, all the graphics, how everything was cohesive. I thought that was wonderful. I think we could maybe do better with involving the schools. And that could be earlier on too, or something like a summer take-home project or something that the teachers can hand out, or that we could visit the schools, arts and culture commissioners. If there's a way we could do that maybe ahead of time before school gets out and like do a little workshop or something with the schools, I don't know. Just a little bit more involvement with getting the youth.
Did we ever get it out on Beach Jar and that kind of stuff or no? Yeah.
Sent it to Melanie Corona at the district. And she was distributing it. She also sent it to all of the principals so that the principals could then do it whatever they do.
Everything.
Yeah, I'd be curious, we might be able to do a follow-up for the youth that did submit
Mhm.
and see where they heard about it, if they heard from Beach Trip, they heard from,
That's a good point.
how did they find out about the
Study.
event and the competition?
Okay.
See if there are certain channels that will.
And I think tabling at like Downtown Live was good. I think once we said you can win $500. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
most of the time you don't get paid for anything like that. So it's usually like, and then it's cool. It's up there for like ever.
Yeah, it's gonna be up
Could
there
be.
for a while.
Yeah. For a while and then rotated through, so I think it's really cool. It almost becomes part of like the city's permanent collection, like art collection,
Yeah,
Technically it is, right?
official. So it'll be added as we do the next, public art.
There's also things we
inventory,
could do with it
for lack
like
of a term.
way
We'll
future.
Include those as. So,
Yeah, so it's super cool.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Once we have like a big collection, have a whole show.
mhm.
Yeah. Great idea. Have a whole show.
So one thing to think about going forward is for the next phase. I know there was originally a very light discussion about what the second
Yeah,
year would be and how many banners would you want to collect or procure, if I could term.
I thought like 10 to 12 was like the good
Yeah,
amount.
Yep. Not
Because
too-
you
not
want
too
to-
overwhelming.
It's not too overwhelming. You
yeah.
also want like a
Yeah.
good, healthy amount of submissions to choose from and not be, like you want just a lot of variety.
Mhm.
So I would say like maybe either 10 or 12.
Yeah, I agree. So it's a good, like,
And then it helps us to budget, like if we're doing 10 and we're saying it's, how many do we have to?
That's 14, we got 14.
600 each
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did 14 because we did have to include one.
Yeah, that
What do you think, how do you think the process for submissions? As far as ease goes, or if that needs to change or anything like that?
I think we'll probably formalize the process a little bit more. So one of the things that we found out, I think most artists heard by word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And so the actual cost we have in a call for art is not long. So we made exceptions a lot. Because I think there's only one artist that actually hit everything in.
Yeah,
Which is interesting, which is two things. One, it's better understanding of the community that's doing it. You're probably
Yeah.
not that into the
all the
specific
technical
procedure of the
things, yeah.
process. The other is that we have different templates, so hard copy,
Right.
delivery, and
Mhm.
electronic. And we did that because we wanted to make sure that it was available to edit
Mhm.
credit for. I don't know that we should change that. It did add some complexity and some challenges.
Yeah,
But I think it's still, we just may need to find especially if somebody produces something on a very large print. We had one that didn't fit
yeah.
at all, scanner. We were able to get enough to make it work.
So we might have to say pieces cannot be larger than whatever dimensions. Or they won't be counted. Like, it just needs
Yeah.
that, I mean, there are some general parameters that need to be
Yeah.
followed. I know it's the first year, so we were lenient, but,
We'll definitely add the alcohol reference. A
yeah.
little more specifically in the document, and I think we'll probably try to trim down the document.
I think so,
A
more,
little
it's more
bit.
simplified, as simple as we can get it, especially for youth. Maybe we have a document that it's like bullet pointed, like real easy to understand, and then they might have to sign that they acknowledged all of the fine print. You know what I mean? Where it's a little bit more detailed out.
Yeah.
But something that just simplifies, like,
More.
yeah.
There was, I think,
There's what?
as I think back, the ones that had the difficulty as far as complying with the requirements, the youth complied much more
Easily, yeah.
They're probably,
Because of technology.
no, I think they're also like, it's, and it may be the fact that they're in school and it's very regulated and
Mhm.
so it may be that helps swap it. To kind of follow that trend.
Well, and now
Maybe some-
people, I feel like now people also saw it. They
Yeah.
know, like, you can see what it is, so now they have a better idea of, okay, next year I'm gonna sign up, or, now I know what to do. or- Yeah, there's some context to it.
Yeah. And there's some things on the event too, so I know like we produce on paper, light paper for the bands that weren't selected, but we wanted to
Mhm.
show. We'll probably budget for a little bit more to actually like a laminate, give them something a little more substance to it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Also, tape, thank you for that.
Maybe,
Yeah, I think,
yeah,
or with some.
on easels or something, we can,
But nothing, that's not too much. of
or like those gallery panels or something like
Yeah.
that. We can come up with an idea.
Yeah, the gallery panel.
We did have one submission, though, that said they turned it in on time, but we didn't see. We never saw it.
Yeah,
You know
so,
about that one?
yeah, so that one was submitted, the instructions that we gave, and everybody complied with this one. It was to not come from a third party source.
Right, I
They
remember
had to come
that.
from their own emails
Oh, yeah.
or some kind of direct communications. They went through some type of art routing website. And I'm not so sure this, they created it and they routed through there. So second from the email came from a commercial email.
Yeah.
Our spam filter caught it,
Hmm,
but they didn't also title it for what it was. So it
it flagged
got
like,
through so basically our system provides a list of email addresses, sends it, and whatever was in
description
the
of the title.
description or the title of it. So since it didn't match any of those things, I
No,
just assumed it was
that's right.
another spam, because we get
Yeah.
tons of it. And went on, and then it wasn't until the email came at the last minute.
So
And so we
is that
processed it.
Richard Ontiveros, that one?
Is that what?
The name of the artist, did you ever capture the name of the artist?
Yeah, we actually had communications, we include them to the council, it didn't come to the commission because.
Oh, okay.
But the council was concerned, so they were, the recommendation from staff was to include that, to allow it as a submission.
Oh,
But it
okay.
didn't qualify though, because it had specific business references. They had specific business names running as a line
Interesting.
alongside,
Yeah, and that's,
and they're
yeah,
very modern businesses.
yeah.
And
Do you see
it
it?
was very much a part of the design. And so that's the thing, so it had like Old Town, Old City Hall on the back, which is one thing.
Right,
But it had along the side of it, names like, things like Fifth Street Coffee and a yoga place and a couple others. on the side.
Oh, okay.
And so because of that, it was denied as far as the business. Couldn't take it forward.
Yeah, this might be something different, different one. The name is Richard Ontiveros. And the design is,
That one was not, that one, it was, I'm trying to remember the lady's name that submitted the one we did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do remember.
Yeah.
We talked
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah,
This
so
was
on
a
the
different
I
one.
remember that too.
Oh, wow.
And he had thought he had submitted it and got acknowledgement, but then we didn't see his design, so we didn't, and it was after everything was already selected, so it was already like, I think,
Yeah,
right before the event.
But that's okay. I mean, if it doesn't come in when it comes in, it's.
No, but he
no,
said he
it came in,
submitted,
it came in on time
ahead,
and,
yeah.
and you
So what happened
responded.
to that one then?
we
You
don't
can see
know.
the- You can
Oh.
see the image there.
Oh,
So that was one that we probably, that's why I was like, okay, how do we check the process to make sure we don't miss any?
Yeah, because he reached out to me like rep for the unveiling event, was like, hey, I was just wondering, are we gonna find out at the event who got it? And I'm like, no, that happened a long time ago. Please share like, whatever documentation you have, and so he took screenshots of his submission of an email from Bryce responding to him, and then just in general, just kind of waiting, that he submitted what he needed to submit, and then that was it.
Okay,
So,
let me,
oh. And
And we could just add that to the submission.
Yeah,
I don't know what else we could do to remedy that, if something.
the only other option, the best thing, we could probably set up a file transfer site. And so it'll log everything into one
Mm-hmm,
folder,
yeah,
and that way
it's there.
It's all there, and doesn't miss something.
mhm.
And yeah, I'll dig it through my emails and see.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause I don't remember that at all.
so, I mean, there's little things, and it is our first time ever doing anything like this, but I think it was a success. I think we just continue to learn,
You
and
bet. Yeah.
there's gonna be little
And the
hiccups and
public,
stuff.
yeah, they're the audience,
Mhm.
and the backstory, and they don't know that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the idea.
Thank you.
Ruben.
And
Concept.
Thank you.
And Bryce, all the work, 'cause I know it's a lot of like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of moving parts for that.
Well,
So,
that's.
It would be cool to know from that event, or what our budget is left for from that event.
oh
So we
yeah,
could
we
do,
probably could go over
We'll do
financials, right?
financials, yeah, we'll do a fault now, adjust it based on the expenditures that we've had so far for the day.
So that we know if we have to do some fundraising efforts or something, just to keep this going for however long we decide to keep it going.
And it'll increase a little bit, and we'll talk about another item later on the agenda that actually
Okay.
puts money in the profit.
So is there anything else?
What you mean about the event? No,
Yeah.
I just,
Everyone feels
and it was
good
just
about
neat, it was the art exhibit next door, and I mean, it's just, everything just fit just wonderfully. And
We had
then,
enough
and then the
cookies and
recipients
apple
themselves,
cider, which is great.
and the recipients were just
Mhm.
thrilled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just,
it was a big deal.
sorry, it was just.
They were like-
Really.
Take their whole family to see the banner as
Absolutely
well.
very-
And everyone under their banner. It was
Very.
It was so great.
You know, that's a treat to see. I mean,
Uh-huh.
It is, yeah.
Mhm.
not just a treat, but it's really a nice, wonderful gift.
It's real.
Okay, so we're good to move on? Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
New business is the approval of the bench plaque inscription for the Baxa family.
Yeah, so Recreation Department received a request to purchase a bench plaque. They've identified on the map, the attached map, the location for where the plaque will go. In addition to having the name back to the family, the inscription is "Happiness is a playground full of laughter." And so, it's being requested for approval of the bench plaque inscription. And that is up to the commission to approve, and then the donation or the payment goes to the public art foundation. That actually goes toward, it's the same fund that paid for the, thing.
Yes. Okay. Any issues with the inscription? All right.
Well, I probably have to check that out. too.
So I guess we just have to,
Is that a
quote from anywhere? Like, do they need a reference? Somebody say that before? or
Nothing
is it
on
just something that they?
nothing I'm aware of, this records identify.
and they're putting just their name on the top or something?
Just that, yeah, I think just that's fair if my understanding is.
Great, I
Okay.
think she was. And it's just for quite a long time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and actually, JDAX,
Yeah,
was the
exactly,
administrative.
exactly.
Okay. So then the action is to approve and let it move forward.
What's the cost for this?
I think it's 600.
50?
Now, up to $50,
650,
yeah.
right?
So I paid 600, but
I
I think
think
now
so.
650, maybe.
I know,
Might have inflated a bit.
One of these basketball
one
ones.
of those.
What's in our, this is our neighborhood park.
Oh, yeah?
Mhm.
That's cool.
I move that we, accept the Baxter family's plaque.
Is there a
on the
second?
bench.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Right.
Aye. Okay. Motion passes. Next is the commission consideration of canceling the December tenth meeting. We have historically gone dark in December.
I love it.
For holiday season, a lot of things going on. So are you all in favor of doing that since we did accomplish our work plan stuff?
What about even November? Just throwing that out there. I mean, I'm just saying.
What is our?
I
meeting in
mean, cause,
November?
alright, so,
Oh,
cause January we start, let's think about what really we would do in November. If January is when we're gonna start
The
planning.
things that need to be approved. So if there's bench pack inscriptions,
Yeah, we
if
don't
there
know.
are public art things that might
We don't
need
know.
to.
Yeah, so
We don't know.
one of the options is to, at any time, the chair or majority of the commission can call a special meeting.
Mhm.
So if a need comes up, I can reach out and say, hey. we need
What do you all think? We don't have, it's only us four. So there's 3 open seats. If anyone is sick or out of town, which I'm like looking at the 12th thing here. We wouldn't be able to hold a meeting anyway.
Yeah, I think the meeting's the 12th, which is right after Veterans Day,
The
so if
11th,
somebody's wanting to
yeah.
go a long weekend or something like that.
Definitely December.
Yeah, I December.
Let's just leave November.
Yeah.
We might have to do some, talk about how recruitment or something with the new seats being
Yeah,
open.
and
Or is there anything we
No.
need to do?
No.
Nothing for
There's nothing
November?
the commission does. I mean, you can put the word out to people to apply when it comes in, but it's all handled through the city clerk's office.
So if we have something that comes up that we have to meet, we can just call a special meeting
Mhm.
in
Yeah.
November. What do you guys think?
I will remind that.
I know why you don't want to keep, why you don't want it. I mean, but I think it's good to keep it, but then don't worry about it. It's, don't include me.
Well,
We have to include you.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're part of the.
We've committed to.
Yeah.
We are the Arts and Culture Commission. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like coming to a council
And it can be
meeting.
short.
The
It can be
city
30
council
minutes.
meetings, you know,
Yeah.
there's something
Let's keep
about,
it.
yeah, and I mean,
I say let's keep it because it's right before the holidays and we can say happy holidays to everyone.
No.
It can be quick. Let's just keep it just so
Yeah.
that if there
Okay.
is something that comes up.
Okay, yeah, it's whatever the commission desires.
But December, we will,
December to go down.
I'm gonna make a motion that we, go dark in December.
I second.
All in favor?
But there'll be Christmas lights on. To light up the day, the night. So it won't be dark.
Yeah, okay.
No, you're good.
Is there any no vote? Sorry. Okay. So I didn't mean to put something on the spot if they did say no, but I was like, I just want to make sure.
Okay.
Put any in. Okay. It's Commissioner McCormick.
Oh,
Seconded, yeah,
thank you.
perfect. All right,
See
so we'll go ahead and.
Second?
No. I
No, I have,
didn't.
Julianson and
Yeah.
then Commissioner
Yeah.
McCormick
Yeah.
and unanimous.
Okay, so we'll move on to item 9, which is,
One question about that,
but which,
or I guess if we could, at some point, to talk about recruitment.
yeah,
Is that something we can still talk about now during comments, or?
yeah.
Is that,
As long as there's no decision being made, like if it's an informational question, yes.
yeah, I just wanna know about,
Yeah.
Yes.
I just
the
wanna know
commission
like
comments.
processes and that
Yeah,
kind
the
of stuff.
commission comments after
Okay.
our
Yeah.
number 9.
That's all I wanna know about.
Yeah, so what I can, well, there's, we'll add that to my stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Forget.
Mm-hmm.
Item 9, Gilroy art-related community event updates. We had a lot of events for, I'm all for October, it's only October.
I
8th.
know, and then I'm gonna make sure it's sitting there in your calendar.
So there are a lot of events.
Yeah.
going on. We had our banner unveiling, we had the Chalk Festival, we had the La Ofrenda Blessing the day before the Chalk Festival, we have
The Mount Festival
the
before that.
Town Hall Festival before that. Then we have a VW show in 2 weeks.
VW show?
Yeah.
That's cool. Where's that one at? I haven't heard that one.
It's downtown. I know they haven't
Okay.
really done a lot of,
Mhm.
it's an outside person, like group coming in.
Oh, nice.
There's, I'm trying to think arts related.
Yeah,
Then after that is Beer Crawl isn't really arts
Yeah,
related.
no.
Then La Ofrenda,
Mhm.
and we're really going big. Big
Yes.
ideas.
Yes, so much.
Lots of art, live art on Fifth Street. So it should be super cool. A lot of performances. Really cool elements. So that will be awesome. That's the first and second, but the second is the event. First, you'll see Fifth Street decorated on the
November.
first. Mhm,
Yeah.
in November. And then anything else? What else is happening around here?
I think that's,
The Ofrendas are on display at the Arts Alliance.
yes.
Nacho has been in the news a lot.
Yeah. That's what always in-
Yeah,
Happy
I mean,
Gilroy.
maybe putting us on on the map for art in Gilroy, so that's pretty cool.
Mm,
doors open,
Yeah,
doors open.
Contemporary 1202 has a lot of shows
Yeah,
going
yeah,
on.
yeah, and she constantly feeds us with that, or he said we're
Mhm.
getting.
And then I
more
think
walks.
Sixth Street Studios is doing
Yeah.
a Dia de los Muertos show and then a Veterans show. So there'll be 2 different art shows going on, like back to back over there. So I know they had a call for
And they're
art.
good on that. I mean, you get them on the Instagram and
Mhm.
Facebook.
And murals. I think there's who's doing murals?
And then
that's, I don't know. That's a good question. I haven't seen any come through yet.
And then the last thing I know that's coming up in the works is the potential for painting Gourmet Alley.
Oh,
Mhm.
There's been some talks about that.
oh,
The ground, the
The
actual
ground- The
hospital.
ground of it, yes.
Yeah. So that could be really fun. And
Is that something that the city
I was gonna ask that.
owns or
Gonna ask
will-
that.
Yeah, so it'd be, if the city does it, then it'd be city
Yeah.
owned and commissioned.
Okay.
The economic development manager is the
Mhm.
ones.
Okay.
I haven't heard of any firm.
no, it's just concepts for
What's possible.
what's possible in later phases.
Mhm.
But still putting it out there for people to get excited about.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else? Commission comments? Item 10?
Yeah, mostly around
Yeah,
re-
so,
recruitment.
okay, so then we'll move on to 11, staff comments.
Staff comments, so, real briefly, right before the meeting, Commissioner Hufford came in and in person announced her resignation. So that happened. We will include that position along with we have, Commissioner Ramirez's former position, seat also will be out. Recruitment, as well as any of the seats that normally are, which I think we have at least one, maybe 2.
Okay.
So Monday through and C,
It might be somewhere between 2 or 4.
basically. 2
Okay.
appointees. The city clerk's office or energy clerk is kind of working through the MADIAC documents to make sure we're tracking the right number of seats that are up.
Okay,
And then that will be going out. The recruitment process typically is issued by the city clerk's office. The announcement of all the commissions, so basically it's a list of all the commissions that have seats up. That they're vacant for any reason, either already existing vacant or term ending. They'll push that out through social media, this is email newsletter, website. Trying to think if there's any actual flyers that get posted, but I'm not entirely sure. So I can get a little more information on that. That advertisement, I believe is gonna go past history, I believe in November, but
Huh.
let me confirm that.
Okay.
I can send it by email.
You said it does go out to the city email.
Yeah, so the email express that goes out every week,
Mhm.
we include in there. Be on the city's website, on the boards and commissions tab. It'll be included in Facebook and Instagram and Nextdoor.
Yeah.
Social media as well.
So it's done as a batch, basically for like all the.
Yeah.
Mhm. It just shows all of them, like,
Yeah.
So they'll all be on there, and so we'll, so there's, my understanding is quite a few,
mhm.
in a lot of different commissions.
And then the requirements to be on the commission, you have to reside within city limits
Yes, and you have to be a registered voter.
and a registered voter. Okay. And city limits, it's just,
So
not the unincorporated Gilroy. I
Right,
mean,
it has to be within the actual official city limits. of
yeah,
the city.
because our other address is Gilroy, but it's unincorporated.
Yeah, the only.
And that's like Tony Bowles too. She's not, she's not incorporated.
Mhm.
But that makes sense, and I don't want to, it just makes good sense. I mean, because then what's,
So you have to draw the line.
well, also, what's your investment?
Yeah.
What do you really, community? No comment.
No worries, no worries.
It's the same thing as the city council meeting,
Yeah,
you
city
know,
council.
I mean, you know what I mean? Well, come on.
Yeah, the only exception that is present is for the youth commission. The
Oh.
youth commission is Dole Unified School District.
Right,
Mhm.
So they can extend a little bit beyond.
yeah.
But it doesn't, it never fails that we do have some that are even outside the Go Unified limits of youth commission. But that recruitment will not be happening at the same time with the commissions. That one goes off the school year, as opposed to calendar year. So I don't know if that addressed any of the question you had, if there's anything else you want.
I mean, I'm just thinking about how to target specifically the seats on this commission as a way for us to do more like grassroots promotion.
Just your
of-
And if you haven't, it's like
outreach.
myself, on the public art, what's his name, because he knew my mom, and he said, Camille, why don't you be on the public art committee?
Yeah,
I mean, and so
it was
we
just
don't know,
people
we don't
talking
know
most of the
when,
time.
yeah, exactly. Oh, not that, so that's my thought on
I
that.
don't even
too.
remember
If
how I
we can-
started.
We can get busy with that,
I
you know.
think I
it-
just saw
you
it.
know. What was that?
I think I just saw it or someone said,
Well,
hey, you should do
Well,
this.
well, that's my point.
Okay.
And so that's what, that we can be active in that.
Yeah,
We can be active.
if you think someone would be
Right.
good for
Right,
the
right,
commission
yeah.
or
Back to, yeah,
looking to get
And they maybe
involved
never
or
even thought
understand
about it.
city,
yeah.
even
Involved.
understanding the
Yeah,
city
yeah. But-
function, and how
So-
because it is insightful when you
Mhm.
think like, oh, these things aren't happening fast enough.
Yeah.
Well, there's
And
processes
and
in place
and
that helps you understand.
And their reasons.
Yeah, there's reasons and yeah.
And they might like that commission because there's so many other commissions.
Yeah, the one thing that one thing that we might run into a challenge would be, so we have a lot of potential members in the Gilroy Arts Roundtable.
Yeah,
The one challenge that you would have is that when you hit forum.
You can't meet at the round table all together, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So there's, it's normally a fine line, but it's really a little bit bigger of an issue just because the art
I miss
table
a lot
is
of
about
those.
things. So-
so the round table, we can't be meeting together there.
We can't discuss things that are,
You can't have a quorum of
Yeah.
the commission meet at the round table when the subject matter
Yeah,
is
is,
potentially pertinent to here. So
Got
since we announced any
well, that's simple.
events of that,
That's
technically
simple.
anything the round table does
Yeah.
would be
And
qualifying.
that's not difficult. I mean,
yeah,
but
that's-
to know that,
Mhm.
Yeah, just know
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
'Cause-
and that would be just making whoever is
Aware of it,
yeah.
you know, the,
And so you could,
Becomes a
I mean, you could
candidate.
leapfrog.
Yeah.
At the
Yeah.
commission. There's ways,
Yeah.
it's just something that has to be considered.
Yeah.
By any candidate.
okay.
got
Yeah,
it.
it's good call.
And you can have people that are siblings, spouses, whatever, can be on the same commission.
Oh.
Just so you know, we had Sam and Judy
Yeah,
both go around
exactly.
together.
Exactly.
That's entertaining.
Yeah. And now we have, now their son is, well, not the commission, so.
So, okay, but everything,
Cool.
everyone's good with that? Okay, well, then we're gonna adjourn at 7:15 PM.
Even.
Wow,
Thank you.
Last time I said it, so.
Yeah.
I know.
Good, thank you.
We ended before we started.
Sorry about November,